Everyone loves Pinocchio. If somebody came up to you and said they didn't like Pinocchio, they'd be lying. Pinocchio, directed by Ben Sharpstein and Hamilton Luce, and is the second Disney animated classic, originally released back in 1940, 3 years after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and produced by Walt Disney, and tells the classic story based on the book Pinocchio of the kindly toy maker Geppetto one day builds a puppet who he names Pinocchio and wishes upon a star for Pinocchio to be a real boy, his own adoptive son, to which the blue fairy here answers Geppetto's prayer by bringing Pinocchio to life and grants Pinocchio a conscience, who turns out to be our main character, Jiminy Cricket, and she informs Pinocchio that he must prove himself brave, truthful and unselfish in order to help Geppetto's wish come true and take his first steps to becoming a real boy. As I speak, I can confirm that Pinocchio is officially one of the highest rated movies of all time on Rotten Tomatoes, with a record-breaking 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, making it one of the best reviewed movies of all time, let alone animated. Now, Pinocchio is one of the most significant Disney movies, as so much was rising on it, as this was the movie that would follow up the first ever animated feature, Snow White, which I reviewed in my last video, and that was already a groundbreaking cinematic achievement. How could Pinocchio top that? And it achieved all of that with flying colours. Pinocchio is a classic movie, emphasis on classic. This movie proves that Disney, after Snow White, had lost none of their mojo, and they could have just given up after Snow White, but they didn't. They chose to continue to try and make special movies that we all can enjoy, and that is exactly what Pinocchio is. Pinocchio is, just like Snow White, in my top 5 favourite movies from the Mouse House itself. This is probably one of the most important movies ever made by man. It is packed with the most beautiful morals and life lessons to live by. It makes you into a decent human being, and very boldly teaches kids that every decision in life you make has consequences. If you act like an arse, you literally become an arse, which I will explain very soon when I go into a bit more about Pinocchio's journey. But Pinocchio himself, he's a protagonist who I can certainly see myself in his shoes. What makes him such a great protagonist is how naive and how curious he is just about the world. You know, he's only a kid. He doesn't know right from wrong. When we're kids, we don't know right from wrong. We have to learn. We have to be taught, and we have to make decisions for ourselves. Nobody's perfect, which is what makes Pinocchio one of Disney's strongest, most interesting main characters. He, of course, does do bad things, but he doesn't know that. So, because we all have temptation, just like Pinocchio has plenty of temptation. He, of course, eventually realises his mistakes and how wrong he was not to listen to Jiminy, who tries incredibly and extremely hard to set Pinocchio on the right path. As for Jiminy Cricket, he's a wonderful character, one of my favourites in the whole movie. He's of course the character that we first see in the opening, singing the movie's title song, and he's the character we follow most throughout the film. And Jiminy's so strong-willed of a character as well, even though it's a extremely tough job to be Pinocchio's conscience. He never ever lets Pinocchio down or leaves him ever. And yeah, I can see why Jiminy is one of the most iconic Disney characters. That really tells kids to, listen to your conscience. Always let your conscience be your guide, as they say in the song. The Blue Fairy is also one of my favourites characters from the movie. She's not only lovely to look at, so I can see why Jiminy's smitten by her, but just as Geppetto is Pinocchio's father, she's kind of like his mother in a way, as she gave him life in the first place, and she gives him all of the gold. Sure, Pinocchio does disappoint her, but she never loses patience with him. She's always willing to give him a second chance. Jiminy and Geppetto are basically all the good in Pinocchio's life, and Geppetto, he's not in the movie as much as you may want him to be, since most of the film he is separated from Pinocchio, but you really sympathise with this lovable guy. It's fascinating how he's such a talented toy maker, and he just wants a son, basically. So when he goes out to the ends of the earth to look for Pinocchio, it's so touching. Figaro and Cleo, his cat and fish, they're brilliant. They are adorable. They help us connect with Geppetto emotionally even more. Walt Disney actually loved Figaro the kitten and wanted to put her in the movie as much as possible. Whereas most Disney movies only have one antagonist, Pinocchio includes a whopping 5 villains. Yep, that's right. The Honest John the Fox and his cat sidekick Stromboli, the evil coachman, and let's not forget the big one, Monstro the whale at the end. While I wouldn't necessarily put these villains quite in my top 5 favourites, they are all still great. They are all dark and actually develop Pinocchio's character when he's tricked by Honest John into starring in Stromboli's show, and he quickly realizes that trusting Stromboli was a bad move, and going to Pleasure Island, he also quickly discovers that if you go there, bad shit will happen to you as well. Especially the scene where he learns to be truthful and never lie. I mean, when he doesn't want to admit to the Blue Fairy when he's in Stromboli's cage that he was a bad boy and didn't attend school. He tries to keep up for the lie as an excuse, but his nose just keeps growing and growing until it extends to this. If that's not a lesson to teach everybody to never tell a lie, I don't know what it is. That can resonate with all of us. As much as we try to hold on to a lie, we can't keep it up forever. The truth always comes out eventually. And because this movie is adaptating a dark book, a dark source material, it does not sugarcoat the dark parts of the story. Fuck no. It goes all out. Especially in the scenes where Pinocchio does get punished for his actions. It's exactly like the bad kids getting their comeuppance in Roald Dahl's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Only 10 times more frightening. The moment when the kids turn into donkeys on Pleasure Island, when you see the kids' hands gradually turn into hooves. Jesus, you gotta feel sorry for those kids. These older Disney classics, scared us as well as made us smile. That was back in the days when Walt Disney was in charge. Who doesn't miss the days when Disney were actually ambitious with family movies, and the songs and musical score deservingly got Disney 2 Academy Awards. Yeah, I recognise all of the awesome musical numbers. The most famous one being the main theme song, When You Wish Upon a Star. That is one of the greatest Disney songs ever. No wonder it's become the main Disney theme in their logo. It's and the star that Geppetto wishes upon has become the star that always appears at the very top of the Disney castle. Yeah, without this movie, we wouldn't see that today. And of course, give a little whistle and always let your conscience be your guide. And also, hi diddly dee, an actor's life for me, so catchy. And the theme song that they used in the Avengers Age of Ultron teaser trailer very cleverly, I've got no strings to hold me down. I absolutely love the animation, just like in Snow White. This is the first kind of traditional animation for a feature-length animated movie, and it looks freaking fantastic. It's so magical and packed with emotion and heart. Why don't Disney make them like this anymore? Why have they abandoned traditional animation? CGI looks like shit in comparison, and the climax when Pinocchio finally does let out the good kid that has been inside him all this time. Throughout the journey he's gone and actually gives his life for Geppetto. He has proven himself to be everything the fairy told him to, and it's quite upsetting when he dies, but at least the movie gives our main characters the reward they deserve, and the blue fairy finally acknowledges he is a good person, and she transforms him into a real boy. It's so relieving after all Pinocchio's been through. He has actually earned that reward. And a child actor who voices Pinocchio, actually Dickie Jones, wow, what a fantastic child actor. Walt Disney actually took Dickie Jones out to lunch in the film's early production and asked him if he wanted to voice the character. Luckily, Dickie Jones was more than happy to. So Pinocchio, it's a equally worthy follow-up to Snow White, and it proves that Disney at the time had not lost any of their mojo, not one bit. It's more than just a brilliant animated movie. It's an outstanding piece of art on every level. It has it all. I can not find a single flaw in this movie. It's freaking impossible. It manages to cram all those great messages, great story, and characters, and frightening moments, and those enchanting locations, and all that drama, all in an hour and a half. It may not have been a big hit at the time, but now it rightfully gets the recognition it deserves. I give Pinocchio 5 stars out of 5. I have a lot of nostalgia for these old Disney films. Back then, in its early days, Disney was unstoppable. Those old Disney films, they had magic, they had a point to them, and everyone could enjoy them. They've really been lacking in that nowadays. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what do you think of Pinocchio? Please comment, let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. And please follow me on Twitter and on Google+. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you all next time when I have more special videos to come. I'll see you then. Bye, guys.